What's up, guys? Brian with HappyThumbsGaming here, back with more LEGO Star Wars TSS. This is level 17, Hunk of Junk, free play. We're gonna get all 5 of those mini kits and all 3 challenges, and of course get that purple stud status for the true Jedi, giving us all 6 of those Kyber bricks. Now, this level played a little funkily for me. That's right, I said funkily. And want to remind you real quick, we do have quick links down in the video description because those might become helpful. Now, as it turns out, I skipped all of the challenges in my story mode, thus leaving all 3 of them for now. And I tried multiple times. In fact, it took me 6 or 7 goes before I finally got a successful recording. But it turns out I was having troubles getting the first and second challenges back to back. So what we're going to do is we're going to load in to Hunk of Junk free play, knock out challenge 1, and then we're going to quit the level, load back in, and grab everything else. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and drop in, and as soon as you gain control, toggle over to a Scoundrel character. For us, we chose Lando. We're going to go ahead and aim up top. It's going to go ahead and go through this quick little cinematic sequence, ba-boom, and drop it right in the middle of the room. Woo to the who! All right, so challenge 1 officially done. Collect a few studs real quick, might as well, right? Got to get them all, got to get them all. Then, as promised, we'll go ahead and quit the level and return back to Hoth, which is where we just happen to be chilling. And once we go through these totals real quick, we're just going to verify we got that first challenge. I thought about editing this out, but I figured I might as well leave it. Now, Tyler P. and I, the guide writer, we're talking back and forth. Everyone has experienced this level a little bit different. So he had no problem getting both challenges in one go, but I found that, unfortunately, my turrets were getting destroyed by the baddies. They were throwing grenades at me, likely because I was standing too close to them, or maybe the AI was. But regardless, to have control of this, we found that it was just easier to go ahead and load in, drop the lights, and then focus on challenge number 2, which we're going to do right now. So load right back into Hunk of Junk free play, and we're going to work on the challenge Don't Get Cocky. That is for simply defeating 3 stormtroopers with a hidden turret. And funny enough, there's a gonk droid right by where we spawn. We're going to go ahead and ride it and park it in place, and then it's going to pop up this turret right here. And I'm going to sort of try to help things out. But see, one of those exploding barrels right there, it's quite possible that it could take out your turret. You can take out your turret as well. They have a health meter, and if you hit it a few times, it will show numbers. And in this case, we're not going to show you because we want to make sure we get this challenge. Like I said, I'd played this level like 5 or 6 times in different routes, doing different things, trying to figure it out, and it just was not working for me. So it reminded me of the uncivilized level where I was trying to take out that certain amount of baddies, and sadly, there was a couple that spawned in a spot that I didn't know about, and I was missing them every time. So luckily, Tyler saved me on that one. So big shout out to him for that. And but yeah, we were trying to figure out what the best way to explain this is, because like I said, everybody's experience is likely to be a little bit different. Now, when you take out all 3 of those guys right there, it actually forwards the sequence here, as you could see. And later, there are 2 other turrets, I believe. So it's possible you might get it later, too. I would definitely play through the whole level versus, if you missed it right now, just play through the level, and it's possible you might get it later. But if you don't, you know that just start right at the beginning, go right for that gonk droid, park it, and hopefully it'll take out those first 3 guys. All right, moving along, we've got a terminal in the back left side here. We're going to go ahead and pick a villain character, match the sequence they present to us, and it's going to open this door right next to us and also one across the hallway there. Sadly, I didn't get the camera over in time, but it's important to note that this door opens and reveals a gonk droid that we're going to ride and park it over there to get that conveyor belt going, which happens to maybe be the longest mini kit sequence that has ever been developed by TT Games. You'll see in a minute. Like, I'm going to throw in the old Looney Tunes manufacturing song. I don't remember there's a name for it. Somebody probably knows it, but demonetized for being too good. Ooh, doo, doo. See what I'm saying, though? It just seemingly goes on and on and on. But eventually, it drops the pieces into that hatch. It presses them all together. And in the end, we get ourselves a mini kit. And we're going to go ahead and collect that bad boy and turn around and find the next one. And, can I say and a few more times? I'll work on that. All right, here we go. Go ahead and collect it. Thank you very much. And we're going to take out a few things here. So the studdage level is very achievable. However, I found that in my first run that failed, I was actually pretty short on the studs, and I hadn't smashed anything. So I was being a little overcompensating here by trying to make sure I grab a bunch of studdage. Feel free to do the same, because it is a time-based thing. Once you cue the final moment, you know, the game ends when that meter fills, which you can kind of control by not taking out the bad guys and letting them attack Chewie. It slows things down, but in the end, it's over when it's over. So try to get those studs early, I guess is what I'm saying. All right, there was a hidden terminal right behind us as we continued to swoop around the outer rim of the area. And we'll go ahead and grab a hero character, punch in the right code, and booyakashow. The door opens and in we go. There should be 2 boxes in here. We need to slide them down the old checkerboard pathway. It's missing the checkerboard, but it's still a pathway. We'll go ahead and push them both. One you pull and the other you push. And then we're going to go sneak over here and smash a few things and grab these studs real quick while that mini kit produces itself. But it should pop right out in the middle there. And all right, woo to the who. All right, number 2. All right, so we got one more before we actually make our story progress significantly. We're going to grab this right now and sort of line it up and get it into place, but this won't advance it too much. Should actually make Chewie get over there if he's not already over there, and he'll be waiting for us to flip the lever. So we have control over when the story advances right now, which again is why I suggested getting your studs early, and of course getting all these collectibles right now in this particular order. Go ahead and use the net launcher over in this pocket over here. As you can see, there's a mini kit floating up in the sky. We'll make our way up there and swoop it up. All right, so we are good to go on the mini kits. Now, there is a spot to our, well, depending on how you're looking, it's right behind us right now. There's actually a couple of boxes. So we're going to recommend you smash everything in this area. And it should leave some bouncing bricks with the option of a multi-build. Now, we're going to choose, for the longest time, you guys, I thought this turret right here, because there's a turret build here, I thought this turret was the one for the challenge. So one or two of my failed challenges was me trying to build that turret and then taking out 3 bad guys, and it just wouldn't work, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why. And our team was giving me conflicting answers. Like, a couple of them were saying they put the gonk droid there, a couple of them were saying that they actually used that multi-build turret, and so there was a lot of confusion. But in the end, we figured it out, sorta. I guess just follow what I do on the video, and you'll get it done. That's my best advice. Because like I said, we were sort of debating on how things should be written or what is needed, and because everybody experienced this level a little bit different. I mean, the last thing you want to do is not get a challenge. And speaking of which, we've got one more that's a really lengthy challenge coming up. It requires us to seal off all of the entrances for the stormtroopers, and this was another one we couldn't 100% confirm because one of our players actually only did the top one and it worked for them. Meanwhile, the other ones didn't get it for doing the top and had to do the bottom ones too. So there's 2 R2-D2 panels down low and 1 up top, and we'll cover that again in a second, but I just figured I'd mention that now because it's a really lengthy challenge, and I didn't put quick links to each part because it's all back to back to back. But you can see there's an R2 panel right to my right in this little pocket of the area. Again, I was worried about studdage, and I was looking at that. I was like, man, I'm not even to the purple yet, and I'm almost going upstairs. Which there are baddies and some studs up there, a couple of boxes to smash where the mini kits are, but ultimately there's not a lot left. So again, panic was ensuing, and I wanted to get those studs before I went up there. All right, so Chewie is officially working on the top here. The bad guys are going to sneak through, and they found my electric fence, which does not last forever, sadly. It eventually meets its demise. But we'll go ahead and start working on these challenges. So I make a wrong turn at Albuquerque, so I'm going to turn around and head back over to the far left side of where the spawning baddies are right now. And look at that. We'll go ahead and get our beep-boop on. We'll mix it up and push it into place, and inside out. I almost said it backwards, huh? All right, we solve it. It should shut the door on them, and I don't think any more will spawn down low next door, that is, as the camera will show us. It doesn't really do anything, though. Like, it doesn't change the color. It doesn't lock the door. There's no real visual to prove that no more are going to come through there. However, it did give us that cinematic camera swooping, so I'm just going to assume that one is that. Now look at that, we got the blue stud status giving us another kyber brick. I'm going to build that up again just in case they try sneaking through. And of course we got to advance the story a little bit, so we're going to carve out a hole in this container, which is going to give us part of the Falcon. So it'll drop it there. Yep, that's right. And we'll build it up. Whoop, first, wrong thing. Oh, and see, more guys did come through that door. So that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody experiences level a little bit different. And my best advice is to use the R2 panels, both of them down below and the one up top, and hopefully you'll get that final challenge too. So I know I got to defend a little bit while Chewie gets his build on here. In fact, he's got one of those meters already completed. He's going for the, I guess it's the cockpit, right? And we'll go ahead, and more bad guys coming in. So you can see in the back left corner there, there's actually a grapple plug as well as another R2 panel. So that's where the second one is. I'm going to go ahead, and unfortunately I commit a very bad idea right there. Whoopsie. Try not to be in the way when you grapple that down. And I also recommend taking out all the scaffolding before you step up, because you'll notice my camera is a little bit of a funny angle and I cannot solve the puzzle. So we'll go ahead and back off of that and smash the stuff behind me. That should give me, it sort of gave me, what is it, Jedi Fallen Order vibes. I don't know if any of you guys watched my live streams of that. Very much love the game, but that camera and map, the way that the map popped up and like the environment would get in the way, and it was, oh my gosh, it was super frustrating for me, you guys. I struggled with that. It was frustrating because I was bad at it. Bad at map. Gray was saying, bam, bad at map. If you don't follow our live streams, you know, we were streaming basically every day, 5 to 6 days a week for quite some time. We put it on pause while we're working on these videos. Who knows when you're watching this, though? It could be 2026. I mean, we recorded these in 2022, so that'd be a long ways down the road. Hopefully they're still helpful if you are watching. And, of course, don't forget to drop a comment down below. I know some of you are watching this on the day we release it, and you're like, wait a minute, that's a long time in the future. But, yeah, I'm just lobbying. We've had some other videos where we've mentioned, like, oh, maybe you're watching this in 2021. And now we're in 2022, so people are like, what? I'm in the future. All right, once you take out all the baddies down below and you're ready to advance, we'll go ahead and ride the lift up top. Now, you did have to put a fuse into place. You had to lift it up using the Force, and we did that earlier. So, not earlier, but just like 20 seconds ago. And now we're going to run across this giant crane, man. You got to activate that switch in the middle. I was taking a quick peek over here to see if that door was open, because there's a Minikit hiding in there, and the door's supposed to be open, but I didn't see the one that's not the one I was after, though. There's another one that's got a little alcove, we'll call it. But go ahead and push this around. It'll actually instigate the third meter, which, sadly, now the time is against you. So as soon as you push that crane around, you've got limited time to complete the final challenge, which we still got to use an astromech panel up here to get the final one, which we're going to switch on over to BB-8 right now. And you might be asking, why don't you switch to R2? Great question. R2 was actually pulled out as my secondary character. Had I toggled to R2, it would have made me go down below. And I don't want to be down below. I want to be up top. So I switched to my, basically just picked another astromech character, so it didn't toggle me down there. Make your way back across the crane over to the R2 panel, or the astromech panel. I shouldn't be so specific. And go ahead and solve it from the inside out. I was not bad at this one. All right, all right. And once we do that, it's going to give us a nice camera spin around the room, show us all the doors closing. And that should give us the challenge. Cross your fingers. No, I'm just kidding. I know I get it. Hopefully you get it as well. And, you know, feel free to experiment and give us some feedback, too. Like, maybe just get the top one and you know, or because you can always go down right now and grab it if that's what you're focusing on. But right around the corner from that, there's a little alcove. Follow that down and around, and guess what? Smash Rooney, and we got some bouncing brick-a-toonies. I don't know what those are, but build it up, grab the Minikit, and collect it. That's number 4. We are limited. Look at that. We got half of our meter completed, so we are on a mad dash to get over to that final blue halo. Come on, feet. Cruise for me. We're going to run right by the bad guy. And so remember I said that door should be open? Well, it should be. There's a green light above it. And when I get up close, it doesn't open. So I'm like, what the? And then I turn the camera around and I walk up close to, I punch it once. I hit the, all of a sudden the door opens. So I'm not sure why it was or wasn't opening. But essentially, on our guide, Tyler P put at the end of the catwalk of the crane is a door you can walk into with a Minikit on the left. So apparently, it just has to recognize you being there. And all right, so now we've got everything. We just need to basically clear the area and allow Chewie to finish his work. And again, you don't have to shoot these guys technically, but the longer they are shooting at him, the longer the level is likely to take. And of course, because there's no more collectibles and we are at the end, and probably half of you have already left by now, but we've sped this portion of the video up ever so slightly. And we're going to go ahead and try to take out all these snipies, and eventually we get it done but there's one more meter to complete her. So I was fooling you. Really, you had more time the whole time, but the heat is on. Yeah. No, you got to take out all these guys real quick. And like I said, the quicker you defend him, or the more effective you are at defending him, the quicker this level will go. And if you're just playing for funsies, you got all the collectibles, you know, you could use that save and exit, which should just take you right back to wherever you were in the free roam last. And basically show you the final totals, give you the final bits. And we'll be there in a hot second, or actually quite a few hot seconds. We got lots of baddies to already. But yeah, so this level, not my favorite in the sense of just some of the variables that took place. I'm hoping that the video will be clear enough, and if you follow along, you'll have the same luck that we did. If I'm being totally honest, I did edit out. There was 2 goes. So I loaded in, and I did the first challenge. Quit, and then I loaded back in. That challenge, or that attempt at challenge 2, didn't work because one of the bad guys threw a grenade at me and blew up the turret. Now, I was standing on the left side. There was like, you know, little bunker points you can be on, the little barriers that you hide behind. Well, like right there, I just pointed it out for you. I was hiding right there, and he threw a grenade at me, and it blew up the turret. So I had to start over. And then the second time, I accidentally had one of my AI take out one of those 3 guys, and it didn't get it. Now, it is explained to me that you can get it later, but I didn't want to risk that. I didn't want to play the whole level and then have to start all over again. You know what I mean? So I just went ahead and tried to make sure that we got it right there at the very beginning. So it was secured and in the bag, as we like to say. And speaking of which, oh my goodness, we are officially done with Hunk of Junk. I do remember that level being really long in the story. Most of these free plays have been somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes, so I don't feel like this one was so much longer than the rest, but the story seemed way longer than most of the other story levels. But anyways, we got Absolute Scoundrel in the first go. Don't Get Cocky and Chewie get us out of here in the second go. And on to the mini kits. We'll go ahead and stack them up, and it builds us a nice little, it's pretty much giveaway as soon as it drops the first piece. It's a mini Falcon. That's right, or Falcon, depending on which movie and which way Han's saying it. But hey guys, thank you so much for checking this video out. Hopefully you found level 17 Hunk of Junk free play helpful and maybe a wee bit entertaining. And I can't stress enough, I hope you guys had the better luck, because I did not have very good luck on this level. It took me a lot of goes, but hopefully the order we presented was an effective way for you. Hey guys, that's going to do it for me. As always, until next time.